So I wanted to talk about a few topics, kind of what's kind of been going on. Well, today's Father's Day, and went to go eat at Luby's. My mother used to work there when I was a kid, and I remember how my mother used to behave, and I remember her being in total frantic, and she was like looks like she couldn't even understand what some of these people were doing, let alone if you didn't think that people can manipulate her now. Back then, it was even worse. And I remember my mother just almost kind of stalling and being obedient, and I went there with my father and he said, "Hey, let's go eat it over at Luby's. Your mom's working today." And my mom worked there, I think, a month or something like that. And I think that it was a way for my father not to only help my mother, but it was a way for my father to also, who raised me, to keep my mother under control, that I am the man and I am the one that's in charge and you need me. And, but, you know, I remember my father, I remember him looking at him, walking through the line, that he was like, I'm the one that's in charge. You know, I'm the one with the money. So, but I remember my mother being in frantic, like I had never seen her before. She wasn't like, "Oh, how you doing?" She was like, I have to figure out how to just be obedient because my child. That's what her primary focus is. And I remember like someone coming over her to talk to her, and she was just like a total obedient dog that doesn't know where to go. Like just a stray dog. And trying to figure out how to survive because you don't know what's going to happen. And I remember seeing this in her eyes and face. We went there a couple of times, and she was having problems, I think, understanding what these people wanted to do. Now, I don't know, God forbid, someone raped her there, someone had sex with her, which when I think about it, I remember seeing the males there. And I remember thinking, to myself, there was a symptom of maybe my mother, because something could have done like that to my mother, or she would have done something like that to survive because she knows this old man may give up on her. And anyway, I thought I'd talk about that. I remember it's so wild because like I've never shared this. I don't think I've ever shared this story before. But one time I was with my father, and I used to go to Sizzlers all the time, and I always got the French fries and the shrimp every single time I went there, and it was such a regular thing because my grandpa used to go. I used to go to my mom as well. My grandpa, and my mom, and we went there. I started to go there with my father regularly at the Sizzlers with their buffet, and it was a very Italian. And I remember like there was the waiters. I remember the waiters, that always got the orders, would look at me and then look at my father and knew they could hear that I was calling him dad, and knew that I wasn't his biological kid. At the time, I was just being a kid. And I remember this guy who looked a lot like my biological father was looking at my father like mad, like upset. Not like he was going to beat his... Like upset, like, did you just steal are you a gay man that's fucking trying to fuck... like this is a kid. And so there's a lot of this from straight men, because you don't ever know these gay men that do fuck their little kids or go do sexual behavior, because the police officers and the politicians allow all this shit throughout the U.S. and around the world. But there's always this man that shows up and looks and knows that, and tries to take a look at this guy, and he was doing it to almost kind of protect me. But I just didn't understand, and I remember him looking over at my dad, and I remember my father just shrugging him off, like, and he walked away. And he used to come by, and they used to have like this 4 little cups, silver cups, on this one little tray holder that had like bacon bits, sour cream, chives, and I don't know, like croutons or some shit like that. But would come by and you need it, and they would, whatever, sprinkle some bacon bits on your potato for you while at your dinner table. So it was kind of elegant. They used to wear these Italian hats. They used to wear these Italian hats back in those days, similar to the one I have now. And these were like Italian guys. These guys were not, they were like Italian, or like they were like, you could tell they were foreign country. You could tell they were from a foreign country, but black hair and black hair like I did. And I knew this guy was straight, but he was looking at this guy and he was like, he goes, "Yeah, can I help you?" And it was crazy because my father just kind of looked and, "Yeah, I just want this and this." So my father shrugged this sort of energy off, and as soon as he walked away, I remember seeing this guy several times, and he goes, "Don't worry, he won't be working here very long." And this is the type of homosexual communication that always goes within the faggots and the gays. That they always make sure, fire his ass. You know how the secret works. You know how our community works. The gay community comes first. We're faggots, secrecy. And that's what they do. I've learned that I can't, 1,000 million times my whole life I've always experienced that. Job sites, when I was younger, friends, most of them. And, but I thought I'd share this video and, because it was around the time, like a couple years before we used to go to Scissors, when I went to Luby's. And I remember my mother hated it there, and she was like total, like scared. I remember her just like scared, like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I need to figure out this Raymond Palomo out for the kids, and where are we going to go, what's going to happen. And this is when Sarah Cooper used to call my mother a bitch and basically treat her like shit when I was a kid. But I wanted to say this video because it is Father's Day, and my biological father, to my understanding, is no longer alive, and how much nobody knows about the fucking stories about when I was in first grade and my biological father showing up. He said, "He looks just like me, doesn't he?" And he was like, "Oh my God," it's like. And they wouldn't release me because they wanted to pawn me off to my father that they thought was gay, but was actually having sex with my mother. So if you want to call him bisexual, you can, because he was fucking my mother. But I remember that very clear. They made it such a hard time, and he showed up several times for about a week or so, and someone punked him out because they got the other faggots in school, and they got the other people to kind of let him know how to deter him away and scare the shit out of you. Because I remember that little kid goes to faggot. Remember, our gay community comes first. And so I thought I would say this because I thought it was important, because nobody knows these stories. So because I remember they were like, got him on the phone, and they wouldn't release me unless he called the principal. He's like, "Here, get me on the phone." He goes, "This is my son. This doesn't he just look like me? This is my son, okay? I'm here." And so they never did that with my father, Raymond. They never did that. It was much more easier. So I also wanted to make this video, not to deter some of the good things that my father that raised me did, but I was on the bus, and this is what I'm trying to get to the point, okay? Nobody knows the worst of this, where Sarah Cooper was trying to parasitically strip away the entity and spirit of my dead sister, to use it for her advantage and just scavenge off it so she can feel good about herself and make up a belief story that she's her arch savior and angel, so that when she crosses over or when she dies, she gets, "Thank you, good, it was Sarah Cooper that was the archangel that protected her and just doing this, and you were just doing spirit work." And it's the whole benefiting of feeling comfort in the afterlife, if one exists, that is going to benefit this worthless bitch, Sarah Cooper, and her family. Because no one understands that she kept on exercising these very disgusting words when my father died, laughed at the funeral, and then started to say, oh, father used to call me princess, and this girl used to dress like a princess. So she tries to, it's very calculated, it's very manipulative mentally. There's no mistake about it. It's very calculated it's a very vengeful, vulture, dead carcass fucking piece of shit to do that type of behavior. Because it's very clear, it's very, very intentional in saying, oh, I'm just smarter doing detective work. Bullshit. That doesn't belong to you. And I say this because I get on the bus, and this is the psychological the behavior that they send these people. They get somebody to look exactly like Kenneth. Sits right next to me. This feels sorry because it's to train the object is me. Okay, I'm the target. Is to train me and let me know that to resonate and sort of coast the ideas and slither to how it can seep into poison the credibility that I have with my mother, biological father, and this dead little girl, who is my direct sister. Because Sarah Cooper wants on her, and I know because Kenneth did a favor for the niggas, and then it's for the whites, for the qualities, because they just go back and forth for you niggas. And that's what I'm trying to get to, and this is how they do this. So I'm on the bus, and then there's this fucking individual that gets on the bus. Looks like they came from Africa. Their face looks like Sarah Cooper, but they're black, wearing a scarf and everything. And when they get on the fucking bus, they have this cart, little baby cart with like a dead fucking, like an old baby carriage, gold fucking like strollers strapped into the seats, and like fucking empty boxes that are old, and it's a beat up shit fucking baby carriage, and it's to resemble and symbolize this dead little girl, Miranda. I know, Happy Father's Day for the dead little girl, for Sarah Cooper and the nigga that was on the bus, for Keynote 97 on the beat for you niggas. Or no, for the whites, because the whites did the favor for the blacks, and you know how we come back with that. So I need to make this video, so it's very manipulated of what they're doing, okay? But I don't say anything. I'm just thinking it's some person from Africa or South Africa or whatever, and this person makes sure that they're sitting right in front of me because I'm in the front of the bus, and they sort of kind of they're trying to get my attention, and this is a psychological training it is. And I'm always trying to deter the situation, and this person sits in front of me and makes sure and just stares at me and tries to resemble Sarah Cooper. She's sitting next to the baby carriage because it's all gold and it's worth so much and it's all beat up. And she was this guardian angel of this dead little spirit girl that she was just being spirit for. This is the manipulative, disgusting part of it, okay? Now, I have this guy sitting next to me now that looks like Kenneth Cooper, this faggot, worthless piece of shit. And this is how they milk it in. So then you just hang out with Julian and Marco, and then the DJ career, and then faggot, fuck your worthless dead bitch. I get it. This is key. No, I was being, it's just very manipulative. It's very intelligent. I'm going to act out what I need to act out to get what the fuck I want. I'm going to scavenge for the dead carcasses, little girl, and every spiritual asset that I can possibly gain for myself, so that I feel comfortable in the afterlife, and fuck you with the crucifix. And it's to play this fucking mental game. There's no reason you should bring in this shit around me, because I'm not the one yelling out this shit. And I know what they're doing, and as soon as this person is sitting next to me and this person is staring at me, right before this person gets, Sarah Cooper sits in front of me, this impersonation, they get somebody to get on the bus to look very crazy and hostile and look toward me, so that you scare the individual. Once the individual gets into that state of mind, put him with Sarah Cooper, because then it enters into the spirituality and understanding to what my perspective of the afterlife is, so that you're more receptive to what this person is going to poison me mentally with and what they're trying to demonstrate. It's a preparation for their niggas and for the whites, and that's how they team up to say, fuck you, Celestina. You're a worthless, stupid bitch. This is for Sarah Cooper. Feel sorry for the old bitch. And this is how they play this sort of symphony. And they do this. You got to keep in mind, this worthless bitch was doing this when I was dying inside a fucking hospital. And I'm still fucking kind when it's happening. But because you don't want to fucking feel angry and pissed off toward an old motherfucker, you just want to feel sorry for the nice, dandy old bitch. There are people in this lifetime, old ladies that have killed a lot of fucking people, that have poisoned and done horrible shit to fucking human beings. And they get to that age, and they want you to feel sorry for them. And when they get caught, other people want to go and say, no, it's all about love and just forgiveness. And no, fuck you. And it's these other people that are doing it. This is how unfair. I could not get a goddamn fucking job to pay me more than $10 a fucking hour. And I had 40 fucking tickets after cancer. Within the first 2 years, I had over 15 fucking tickets. This is how fucking crazy it is. But you want to feel sorry for a wretched, worthless piece of shit that wants to claim your dead spirit for Barack Obama and for the niggas and for Kenneth and for yourself in the afterlife. No, fuck you. But I'm not bringing this shit up. Okay? They want to make sure that even when I first walk in, I'm not even telling you the story. I'm first walking in into Luby's and they get Ken Cooper's impersonation that, he's a white hero, he's a cowboy. Because remember, he's dead already. Once the motherfucker is dead, they know that this entire time they want me to milk it toward the worthless fucking piece of shit. Because the afterlife is where he went to hell. He went to a horrible fucking monster dark place. He didn't go to any place good. But we're going to change the belief of what every single body thinks of this worthless piece of shit that has been dead for a long time. Because we're sorry for Kenneth to do the favor for the blacks, and we're going to feel sorry for Sarah. Because then where's Sarah's going to go in the afterlife when she sees Kenneth again? You see the type of love story that? No, he gets a white story, and you get a fucking faggot story. This is what they're doing. Okay, this is what's going on. But I'm sitting here and there in that bus, and I don't make... And this is what they do. And so the person, we get down, about a mile, and the person gets off the bus. And I remember someone goes over to this person as they're standing up and pulling their cart after staring at me, then looks over at this person and said, "Oh, you need me to move?" And she looks over, she's pulling the cart, and she goes, "No." Like saying, no, this little baby, Miranda, belongs to me. Her soul belongs to me. I was being the angel and being spiritual angel to her. It's just girl's so special to me. The bitch was calling my mother a fucking bitch and wetback over the fucking phone. My dad committed suicide, was laughing at my dad's funeral. And this is how they feel sympathetic for Sarah Cooper and Kenneth. This is how they feel sorry for them, because keep in mind that it is Kenneth at the radio station that this motherfucker was doing this the entire time. Because you want me to blame the worthless motherfucker, and it is this piece of shit that's dead. It's horrors. No, horrors is what this motherfucker... No, it's Kenneth Cooper that was doing it. Very calculated. Very intentionally sabotaging at the highest levels of degrees so he can get the profitable fucking gains at every scathing fucking parasitical way you can imagine, at the guttering, because it makes you a man when you're that fucking disgusting. It makes you a warrior when you're that fucking ruthless to rip out the heart of, biological Hector's heart. My biological father, because you were fucking ripped it out, and you were letting them know what kind of man you were, and you're a forgiveness Jesus story, and you're still gonna get, because you know how it works, cool, I was just milking it. Let me explain. You can't explain shit when you were getting fucked in the ass, Frankie. Oh no, it's just, Hector didn't do shit. You don't understand, stupid. And it's the worst. It's the most parasitical, disgusting fucking thing. That you're always going to find these people, but even so much disturbing is that other people don't want to pay attention to how disgusting this is. It's like a Nazi soldier. Many of the Germans in World War II, this is a very common behavior. These Nazi soldiers would burn children and gas them and kill them and hang them in Auschwitz and different camps. And they would be cherished by these fucking people that were only 15, 20 miles away from this Auschwitz and these death camps. And they would, oh, you're a fucking American, you're a Nazi German hero. Look at your white blonde hair and blue, you American. You're a white, you deserve entitlement. And they would do this to these motherfuckers that were doing this shit. They didn't care about what they were fucking doing. So moving on with my story, I'm sitting and I don't say anything. I'm fucking just, and I just kind of look, and this person is to now play Sarah Cooper, saying she's the owner of her spiritual, but is to entice and to vengefully get at me. is to the spiritual essence of this little girl, because they're after her soul. They're after the energy and decision. What if there is a God that makes a decision to see what is good and bad and who gets what, that it's going to work out to everyone's favor to believe and get this worthless bitch that it belongs to her, and she gets some of that credit and gets more ownership than I do. And the truth is they're doing this to my fucking mother because they know and they're playing their fucking stupid bitch. That's what they're fucking doing. I know. Happy Father's Day. And so I want to talk about this because I think it's important that, as though I'm going on the bus, I know what they're doing. You are setting these people up, and you're doing this on purpose, not to fix anything. You're doing this to benefit your fucking self, because you don't want me to take ownership, and you don't want me, but you want to throw that worthless fucking bitch of Miranda, that dead corpse of me, when it's time to bury her, for Sarah Cooper, and then you throw your fucking Jesus bullshit at me. Because it's between your fucking legs of the DNA that fucking I could have been shitting out as well. Oh, well, no, it's Sarah Cooper. It was for Kenneth, and it was Sarah Cooper. Yeah, but it's everyone else that's doing it. It's psychology, and you're just doing it just to antagonize a motherfucking dead little girl. If you want to say who's calling her more of a worthless fucking piece of shit, it's you that's fucking doing this. Get on the bus in the psychology that you're doing on this shit. It's no more than anyone else that you fucking doing this. And you shoot these electronic devices into my brain to prevent me from actually communicating and having any debate about it. That's fucking why. Because you want the idea that it belongs to this piece of shit. And it's because they know my mother's as dumb as a big pile of horse shit, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And they know they've got her trained, and yeah, you okay, stupid, we got your money, and we're going to fix Hector the way we put him, and we got your twins, we're going to put them exactly, yeah, stupid, yeah, thank you for shitting this one out for Michael Jackson. It's political power. A Marine got shot up and burned in Iraq. I feel American flag. Ken Cooper's a mascot for white race. And it's very difficult, because when I'm eating at Luby's, this is much of everything as this is going on. I sit down within a couple of minutes. I'm eating at Luby's. This has all happened today. I'm at Luby's before I even get. When I get on the bus, it was after the whole Sarah Cooper experience was after Luby's. I go to Luby's, take my scooter, and I get on the bus. The second I sit down and get into the restaurant after getting my meal, I sit down at the table. Within a minute, there's a bunch of black people, family members and whatnot at a big dinner table. And it's like a 60-year-old man, black guy, and sitting at the middle of the dinner, not the middle, but the end of the table like he's the father. I don't know, and there's a bunch of people that start screaming and say, help, help. And I guess he's choking or something. Apparently he's having some choking hazard or some shit. And I just froze because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I just hear somebody just start yelling, and I'm like, they're staging something, and they're lying. I don't know what the fuck. Or maybe he really is choking. I don't know. Or maybe having a heart attack. But the chances of me being in that environment are very unlikely. Remember, it's Father's Day. This is for Sarah and Ken Cooper. Remember, who's going to go to the afterlife, and they're going to staple your worthless Jesus fucking church shit on me, so it feels real comfortable in the afterlife. Because it's more terrifying in the afterlife when you're getting ready to die, when you have those comforting tools, and when you don't. But you're going to staple it with your religion, because you don't want you to feel that goddamn fucking way. Now, I'm not able to talk exactly the way as intellectually as I would like, because they're shooting an electronic device right now. They're shooting an electronic device, and they have some sort of frequency right now where they're dumbing me down. So, okay, that's how smart you are. And then, you see, dead Miranda. So I'm trying to communicate right now. I can tell right now that they're shooting something at me, and they're shooting something into the atmosphere, preventing me from talking. But I thought I'd make a video on this anyway, or try to. So the guy starts having a heart attack, choking on some food. I maybe look for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. I probably should call 911. I call 911, paramedics. Hey, there's a guy choking, just want to send some paramedics. Some people are kind of surrounding the guy. I think 65, black guy. And I could tell the person over the phone then gets aggressive with me. and she starts manipulating and training me. She goes, "What's the address? What's the phone number? Oh, okay, give me that number again." And she starts threatening me. So what they do is a stage play. They get somebody to have a heart attack. Remember, Daddy Ken Cooper, who's the angel of Miranda's dead body for Sarah Cooper. No matter how disgusting they were to my mother that you don't know about, but you want your fucking parasitical heroes for President Barack Obama. Remember, for you niggas. Or no, for George Bush, remember? And they play these scenarios. There's quite a bit of people, and they're all black. Right? It's a black family. They're just having a meal on Father's Day, right? And I'm not even telling you the story of me waiting in line with they keep bumping into my back, and then I turn around and the guy kind of does like this and starts laughing like Frankie's getting fucked in his ass. And he starts laughing. He's playing it for his niggas in World War, with Afghanistan and Barack Obama, for you niggas. This is for Kino. He did you a favor. You know the inside secret? You know the inside stuff, right? You know how it works. You know the secrets. So this is what's going on, but I'm sitting at the table. I don't ever get up, and I can tell the person on the phone that I'm talking to acts aggressive, and then starts to use that at me. He says, "Give me that number again." And they're very clear even prior to training me to what that references even as, because my mother's apartment has a serial number on the door that has a crucifix on there. You know how the doors are made where they nearly have all crucifixes on there? Well, there's a number inside my mother's apartment, which you're not supposed to have the phone number inside, or the number of the apartment inside the apartment. But it's to train me, and you don't know these stories yet, because they're very calculating when they're doing this to me. And it's just to make sure they control God, and with the understanding of what that is. Even when I don't toy with it, it's to say that I say where this worthless dead little girl is and who the monster was. And it's just for Sarah Cooper, because it's just psychology. I just press a button, psychology, and then I just press a button, psychology, do these tactical things, and I just turn this electronic device, and it's not my fault when you got raped. It's just American flag, Ken Cooper, white power. Oh, it's just fine and dandy, and just spit at him and just do whatever the fuck you want. And that's all that these military people that are doing this to me, that it's coming from the president, that they shoot these electronic devices to prevent me from communicating or thinking. It's just to have enough consciousness and thinking power to understand about what they're applying to me, doing to me by force, and implement on me. Their beliefs, spiritual beliefs. Do this by force. And it's to sizzle away, like, you shred away cheese, of a block of cheese, and you get to this sort of amount of what you want. And you shred away until you finally get what you want. And it's a very slow process. So they do this by doing this crazy shit, right? So I don't really think of it. Paramedic shows up, two big guys show up, and they're all looking at me like, the paramedics and shit, like I'm an intruder, like, oh, I'm just helping the black man and all this other. Fuck you, motherfucker. It's like, and this is a bunch of bullshit. This is, people act all heroic to white blacks, but that's not the truth. What's really happening here, it's just, don't take the white woman from him, or have an opportunity with that shit. But I wanted to talk about this, because even as I'm trying to talk, I can feel they're just shooting an electronic device, and they turn up the electrical volts, and it prevents me stutters from continuing the conversation. It stalls me, and that's just all they're fucking doing continuously. But I wanted to try to make a video and talk about this, because this is what they're doing. Once this worthless bitch that gets on the fucking bus gets off, there's gold all over this fucking cart. And the reason they put gold on there, because it increases the value of what you perceive to what that dead little girl is. For then her to walk away, and it was Sarah Cooper that took a spirit away. And says, no, you were trying to take your spirit. Yeah, for Happy Father's Day to the worthless bitch happy worthless day to worthless motherfucker Hector, my biological father, dedicated to the worthless nigger that was on the fucking bus, playing that goddamn psychology shit. You want that fucking number? You're the one that's playing that goddamn fucking number, not me. And it's very upsetting, because this is all to work in what these parasitical motherfuckers did. This is just to work for them. Even when I don't want to play this nasty fucking game. I get away with what I want. I have electronic devices. I beat the fuck out of Hector. I do whatever the fuck I want. This is about Sarah Cooper. Let them get away, and continuing to get away, whatever the fuck that. We're going to make a different conversational story, and we're going to just bury Miranda. And then, yeah, because this little girl comes from my genetic makeup. Even though I'm not her dad, it comes from the same biological father. Oh, it's just, throw that worthless bitch at me whenever you feel like it, for Barack Obama and for the niggas. Or no, for the whites. And they do this repeatedly. It's just persecution at me. Every single person there in that goddamn fucking restaurant, Luby's, is like this, like parasitical, like how can I get it? Grab your chest in your heart, look at the floor, you look at a little girl, and then look at him like you just want to give your little signal to them. And this is constantly, but I'm always looking away. I'm always trying to act calm. I try to even look out the window, see a little girl walking by Ken Cooper's authoric mascot. Either way, the dead little girl's yours. I don't want to start trouble. I don't want any trouble. I just look out the window, whatever. And he's all white power, American flag, white. I'm white. Yeah, Ken Cooper. He was a good. Okay, now I'm going to put my head down a little bit, just to let him know I did a little boo. Oh man, he's just a hero. Sometimes a hero does so much hero shit. After Frankie was getting fucked in his ass, he's just he even makes a mistake sometimes. That's a white mistake. It's a white quality mistake, yeah. And so he does his shit in front of me, right? But I'm always kind of looking away, like I'm no trouble, trying to cause no trouble or draw any trouble toward an area. But anyway, so I get up, leave, and this is when the whole Sarah Cooper experience on the bus is, and I leave. But I wanted to make this video, and as soon as I get off the bus, this bus driver looks over and he goes, "Yeah, have a good day," and he sort of yells. Remember Michael Jackson was driving the bus? Yeah, I know exactly. I know that's his dream, driving the bus. So I thought I would make a video on this because it's always, I can never explain the persecution, how anybody could ever deal with this. Like when Paris Hilton, I was listening to, I know this is a little bit off the subject, but I watched a Paris Hilton interview, and I've heard her talk about this several times, and she talked about when she had a porno that was placed all over the internet, and it was like before internet had really blown up and all this other shit, and she was walking into fucking like video stores, and her fucking porno video sex tape was on fucking sale and shit, and they made 200,000 of them all over the U.S. And it was like, at that time, it was the worst for something like that to happen. It's very different now, but it was like the first of the generation of revenge porn. And she said that it was just humiliating. It was beyond anything you can imagine how disgusting people were toward her and making fun of her with that, right? Because you're going through all this torture, you're going through all this, just a horrible fucking situation that every single person is going to take a shot at. And that's exactly how I could almost relate it. It wasn't a porno, but it was so degrading. It's so vengeful, and people are so disgusting that they want to just make their opinion and just go at you with that. They don't give a fuck about anything. They don't care about your life. You are a worthless. If you stay alive, it's only for me to use you as a punching bag, and that's all it's fucking worth. That's what they do to me. And it's so fucked up because this little girl doesn't know who fucking Sarah is and didn't welcome her in her fucking life. Let alone my fucking mother was being raped in that fucking house and watching her daughter get fucking beat up. My mother would not appreciate the fact that you're having these worthless bitches trying to reclaim and energetically, mentally put me in a mental state to say that it was Sarah Cooper's playing angelic over this dead little girl. This little girl doesn't know who the fuck you are. And she wouldn't be saying this, saying thank you for doing this to my brother Hector, who was protecting my mother, and I playing with my guardian Ivan. None of this shit. She wouldn't be saying that if she was consciously. This doesn't make any fucking sense. She wouldn't be able to. But this girl comes from my genetic pool. Same mother, same father. I was there the whole fucking time. I was all this thing. But they want to feel sorry for the old wretched piece of shit bitch. Same thing when I went to the GED center yesterday. Before I passed my GED, this lady then starts behaving like she's giving me the keys of the dead little girl to the locker room, and then I put the locker room on Jesus Christ, and then it was Sarah Cooper. And like, they're so crazy. These are transgenders that are doing this, right? I'm at the GED center. It's a transgender that's doing this, and it's so mentally sick and infested with for Sarah Cooper, spirit of Sarah Cooper for Miranda. No, everyone's gonna find out that it was the spirit was for Sarah Cooper was the spear holder of Miranda, and then she's the one that gives the talk. No, she was just playing protective in her part before she leaves. No, she didn't play any goddamn thing, and she didn't welcome you in her life. My mother would not be appreciating this. And now they're using her identical twins to then abuse the situation to clean up for Sarah Cooper. This is how worthless the dead body is, how worthless it becomes to then change the credibility to where you want to place it now. Because my mother would not like any of this. She wouldn't. She wouldn't be saying, oh, it was stinky, I'm going to shit out a baby that's retarded, watch her get fucked in the ass, and it was just Sarah Cooper. It was Jesus Christ with Sarah Cooper. That's why Kenneth built a fucking church at the radio station as well. He worked at the radio station. Yeah, it was his dad that built the church, Kenneth Cooper, because his name is Kenneth Cooper too. Yeah, it's Sarah Cooper. Yeah, white power. This is white quality. I'm a nurse. Like, it doesn't matter how nice you are to some people. They're mentally so sick, fucking disgusting, and freeloading motherfuckers that shouldn't be doing this. But Barack Obama and George Bush is the one that's applying this garbage shit on me. They're the ones that are applying this. Because remember, Barack Obama knows how to kill somebody when he needs to, just like Osama bin Laden. Then change that emotion over to me, yeah, I know, when you meet the president. So, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because nobody sees these daily activities, the things that I go, even though I'm always ignoring it and trying to just not pay attention. That they'll do things and come by me, accidentally run into me, or scrape me a little bit with their shirt or backpack or their arm or phone across my back, and then and then make a cough like you're getting fucked in the ass. And they do these fucking crazy things so that I'm forced to pay attention by total strangers. And it's very constant. It's constant, even though I'm always like, trying to get the fuck away, and trying to not think too negative. Because I know that these thermostats, they can tell when I'm getting really pissed off. Even though I'll never show it or say anything. They can tell because the heat sensors can tell, okay, he's accurate. He's getting angry. Okay, now shoot him with the electronic device. Okay, no, you don't get mad at that. No, you don't get mad at that. It belongs to Kenneth Cooper and Sarah Cooper for the cemetery and the afterlife. They get the feeling of your mental understanding. It belongs to them. And it's so fucking crazy because there's no one else that's playing the tug-of-war with this goddamn shit. And it should never be a debate. It should never be an argument. This little girl doesn't belong to you. It never did. In fact, my father, I remember looking very disgusting and angry at this little girl in front of my front porch whenever I was watching Ivan walk this little girl on her daily walks. And I couldn't understand fucking why. I remember my father smoking a cigarette and looking angry, pissed off. And this is during, right after his suicide, or right before his suicide. It was right after his suicide. He stayed at our house for 6 months, and I remember he was looking at this little girl like he wanted to hurt her, or he was mad, and then he just, and he was just sort of kind of gawking on because he was mad about other shit, and I could tell because he was pissed off at what had happened because he felt that other people had taken advantage of him at that time, and they did, and there was nothing to do about it anymore. But I remember that. And so Sarah Cooper, no, it was because our dad, and then we belong together. No, I take spirit. So even when this person is not in the picture, they send people to do this. Just like when I was in Vermont, and Sarah Cooper, that was Sarah Cooper walking down the street, and she goes like this, walking down the street, that dead body belongs to me, her spirit belongs, and it's to threaten me. And I'm walking down the street, and then a dumpster guy digs in the dumpster to throw away the trash in the dumpster truck, and he comes and stands in front of me like he wants to fight. So it's to act aggressively, and the dead little girl belongs to Sarah. And so this is what they do, and this is what President Barack Obama is ordering. Remember, this is just a worthless bitch that the entity needs to be exchanged for whatever it is, and then you throw the dead corpse into a casket, and it's for Sarah Cooper at the Kenneth. And you just school me some bullshit, and you're gonna make your make up believe bullshit stories, because the time is already gone. I have been suffering a very miserable fucking life, not due to my own decisions, but because of what these motherfuckers did and continue to do with the tickets, the harassment, the threats, and patriotic for Sarah and Kenneth Cooper at the radio, white power, that it's just Mexican scum shit. No, it's for the niggas. He did a favor for the niggas. Oh no, for Michael Jackson, President Barack Obama and George Bush because of the World Trade Center and Osama bin Laden. And so they just keep doing this stupid shit, and it doesn't stop. It's still the me that's affected by this. And so it's a tug of war, even though I'm not, because everyone is in the same thought that we don't know what goes on in the afterlife, and you have these mediums claiming they talk to the people in the afterlife, and people that talk about ghost stories. You don't want to be on that bad side of any type of ghost story that says that a spirit of a little girl doesn't like you, or a spirit of a little boy that's running around that was killed many years ago, however which way, doesn't like you. That's not a good thing that you're going to take into the afterlife when you get ready to die. But you want to get that heartfelt emotion and give that to Sarah. Yeah, for the gay, for the faggots and transgenders, for that family. That's what you want to give them. You want to make sure you want to give that to them. You're doing this, and this is the people that are shooting the electronic devices and sending these people. Because I'm always trying to deter the situation. I mean, I'm telling you, I get on the fucking bus and there's someone looking at me like they want to fucking kill me. At the back into the bus. I talked about this yesterday. Car tried to hit me. I took pictures of it. You don't even know about the story for me to even tell you. When I'm at the GED center, right before I walk into class, I go next door to have a piece of pie. I walk out the door and I turn around and somebody's holding their fucking dog like they're ready to attack me. This white person is ready to attack me. This is what they're doing to me. Remember, just like you did with the slaves, and just like you did with the Nazi soldiers against the Jews, this is exactly what they do. And they get some Alaskan dog, and it's just holding their dog like, you want me to fucking go after your fucking ass? Like I'm a runaway. And these are not police officers, but they want to behave like police officers. Now, I just had somebody try to hit me with their car. This is yesterday now. It's constant. It is so consistent that no matter where I try to turn or try to diffuse the situation, they implement by force because they want to make up a make-believe story because Frankie was being raped by all these people and Sarah and Ken didn't do anything. And they're claiming that they pointed the finger, and then and they're all lying about this. This is the worst parasitical, disgusting behavior that you could imagine, that how a wealthy family that was inside connected to my father could have done this to my mother and me and my brothers and sister. Because it is the worst shaming that you could ever experience, and especially in the public, that when you get ready to die, that everyone is going to think, what a worthless piece of shit bitch that you fucking were, and your husband and your fucking kid Kenneth at the station for what y'all did. You have all the money in the fucking world, and they're going to keep making up shit. So what they're going to do now to cover it up, they're going to start doing psychological training methods on the buses, on the trains, and environments, and all kinds of shit, because you get worn down mentally very abusively. The same way they're doing to my mother, to keep her mouth shut. Doesn't matter. You have everyone else that's doing it. You're not telling those other motherfuckers to shut your fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. And doing it by force and order like you're doing it to me and my mother, but you're doing tactical shit. And this is what makes it very sad. Because you didn't punish them. You punished me. And I did nothing but good. When it came to so much... They were so disgusting to my mother whenever at the funeral, at the fucking hospital, my dad committed suicide. Kenneth Cooper was telling with Sarah to Frankie to go after my fucking mother, and my dad's in fucking diapers, and my mom was way down the fucking hall in this fucking window. I know, just like I saw the old bitch over at my apartment, and she was over there trying to portray herself like Sarah Cooper and infuse those mental perceptions and ideas like Sarah Cooper and my mother standing at the window being mad at someone. And this is why this worthless bitch over at the apartment was doing this to me. And so there's so many things that y'all don't know what they're doing to me. This is all about Sarah Cooper. This is what this goddamn motherfucker is doing. But you got to understand, I'm not trying to rabbit trail my conversation, but this is exactly what they're doing. There's all these situations that they're doing. You know, like I just talked about. That incident happened, 4 weeks ago whenever I was in Vermont in my apartment, a couple days before I left. Sarah and Ken Cooper was literally, I watched and told Frankie to order Frankie against my mother. I saw this shit. To turn, because they were like, oh, she's a rent, and down that they're old and Ken Cooper's dead, is that they don't want it to pass it down to Madison, and they don't want it to be passed down to Kenneth at the radio station, because he did this a favor for the niggas. The inside shit, secret shit. So I wanted to talk about this, that I think is very important, because I know they just keep making me pass gas, and it's very upsetting. But I wanted to talk about this because there's so many it's very constant. Feel empathy. My mother would not like any of this. I knew who my mother was when I was younger, how often I was around her and communicating with her, my teens and shit, how she was and everything. They want to make sure that they get away with what they're doing, and there's no defense. So they can make up any story, and they say, okay, now we put this amount of bad right there to give you an acknowledgement. We put this amount of good right here to give that credit right, and then right there, yeah, and that's how the story went. No, that's not how the fucking story went. You just beating the fuck out of me so I don't say anything and tell you what really fucking happened. You wanted to make your fucking heroes and the fucking heroes, and they really were fucking demons of this fucking world. Very disgusting and parasitical to see what they could put on their fucking goddamn table and laps to give to their fucking kids, and just looking good in front of for themselves. This is all selfish and greed for themselves. Then change the story later down the goddamn fucking road. And it's very upsetting. I should never have this conversation about this dead little girl, and how they're probably going to have a funeral for her and her burial to have it. I know I'm trying to talk and they're not even letting me talk right now. To have a benefit for Sarah and Ken Cooper for the afterlife and the spiritual world. No, put the Jesus Christ bullshit on. No, it was just detective bullshit. And so it's situations like this that even when I'm trying to tell you what happened, they don't want anybody to know about, and they're making the story up, and it's for that goddamn nigger President Barack Obama, for your niggas, and for the White House, or for Osama bin Laden. I know, because you shake my hand, it's good to do business. And so they do all kinds of fucking shit constantly, all the fucking time. But I'm always trying to fucking look away or think about something else. And it's just, that's all it's about. And so I think it's important for me to talk about this. This is what the President of the United States is ordering against me. All these people and all this other shit. This is, if you think about people that should be digging in a trash can for food or should hang themselves, yeah, it's that guy Kenneth at the radio station. You want to fucking gutter out a little worthless bitch at and then throw a dead body at him when you're fucking ready and manipulate that goddamn shit, motherfucker? Want to give that number again? No, you did it after you get a job at the radio You don't understand what barriers and how many manipulative, how disgusting this behavior was repeatedly, and how calculating it was. This is not me just being nitpicky about the situation. No, how parasitical and disgusting this behavior is. And now they want to throw the dead body at me. That's what the president wants to do. And you get that portion, and then because you're living your whole life. I'm living my whole life in this disgusting fucking world of what they keep doing to me. And then they want a grand finale at the end. Ta-da, bullshit. But that's not how the way that I lived. You're digging in a trash can the entire fucking time. I'm being beaten inside a trash can. I'm spit on the entire way. And at the end of the fucking tunnel, it's like, oh, yeah, you see how things, yeah. And then, yeah, it's just like the Jesus Christ moment, you just realizing, look back, and it's like back to Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's all you fucking needed, huh? It's so fucked up. It's so parasitical because, they have no right to be doing this, and I don't think they should. I think leaving it alone at the best is the best situation, because it's all this tug of war about her soul, God, how they can manipulate it for the gain. Because I'm her brother. Ivan was her brother taking care of her. But I'm her brother. I'm related, blood related, living next door to me. I'm with mom. I'm watching, and the only one that's telling me the stories of how my mother was behaving on the other side of the fence with this transgender that they put in there intentionally, and then used that little girl to then manipulate my mother because this guy over here on the other neighbor raped the shit out of Frankie. And this little girl was being hit. Like, you know, it's horrible. It's monstrous of what these actions and what these people are doing. I'm the only storyteller, but you're going to go ahead and play that goddamn fucking game. And it's not me that's picking away at this shit. It's the president is ordering this shit. And I don't want to play this disgusting fucking shit. I would have made this very miraculously, but they want to make this all about how this benefits Sarah Cooper in the afterlife and this goddamn worthless pig of a police officer that is now dead, and to help Kenneth. Because they're always manipulating, they're all turning everything against me. Because they didn't pay for anything for what they did, and they're going to pay for the rest of their life like I did. Because they burn off your youth, they do find somebody else to do the killings, and then I get what the fuck I want. And then it's just, at least I had a better life than you stupid. Now throw the worthless fucking dead corpse at you. You didn't get anything out of it anyway. No, it's just give you understanding through President Barack Obama. Yeah, because he's pointing the gun and shooting at me. He wasn't doing it to them. And he's still doing it to them. To me, not to them. He's still not doing it to them. He's doing it to me. And it's difficult because I'm the only storyteller. I'm the one that's telling you what happened to Frankie. Was telling you what happened to my mom. What happened? Oh, but you know, you got your stupid bitch over there, and it's just, you know, it feels sorry. And it sucks because I'm the one that's had to live like this for 20 fucking years. I'm 27 years old, living with Patrick. This guy's attacking me for Sarah Cooper, and he looks just like Ken. He's feeling patriotic for Ken Cooper. This other goddamn motherfucker over here wants to feel sorry for Ken Cooper. My job site wants to feel sorry, and they just kept on doing that. And at that time, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I really didn't know what the fuck was going on, but they're getting attitudes like I fucking knew and I didn't. Just like my mom didn't know Frankie got raped and that little girl was being hit and abused to cover up for this fucking faggot motherfucker who weighed 250 pounds and beat the shit out of my fucking, out of Frankie after raping him, or before raping him. Oh, but it's just, you know, Ken Cooper, he pointed his finger and he has to take detective because he's being reclusive and making sure, oh, police officer. No, bullshit. That was all cowardly on the entire, because they don't want to be shunned. They don't want to be shamed beyond anything. That's what happened to me and my mother. And then your money pays off real well right there. But I thought I'd make a video on this. It sucks. Yeah, happy Father's Day. Did you get what you want? Did you get your number? Did you get what you really want? Because you eventually will. Remember the Jesus Christ movement? Or fine, if it's not that, well, then you eventually get what you want because it's logical. Or it's practical. Or it's what needs to get done in order to make yourself feel better about whatever the fuck it is you're trying to do. And it's upsetting, you know. It's just like, we don't know, none of us know what the fuck happens in the afterlife. When somebody tells you that goddamn shit, you sure as hell don't want me to have that leverage. Oh, it's just I was doing it for something bad. Is that what I was doing? No, and then just turn everything and just you're infected with HIV anyway. It's just your mother's real stupid. Now use the twins against Hector and then manipulate her own sister. No, it was Sarah Cooper. Yeah, feel sorry for then Kenneth and Madison. That's white power right there. No, he did a favor for the niggas. You see how the niggas are going to show appreciation for that favor he did? All the manipulation. Yeah, we know Michael Jackson. You know how you know how racist it is. It's good to have a white guy on the side. It's just not racist until you want it to be that way. But it's upsetting, you know. I would have done this very differently. I 100% flying colors and, you know, taking, you know, pride and for my mother and putting that with my mother, for my mother, you know, and what she would have wanted in the immediate circle of my family. Not to go or belong and mentally live your life like that. It belongs to Sarah and Ken and Kenneth, parasitically, for the white supremacist movement, and then manipulate that shit later. Because who wants to feel sorry for an 85-year-old worthless bitch that didn't tell you the story and you don't know who the fuck it is when they've lived such a lie and pretend life for so long? I know everyone feels sorry for them. Everybody does. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, you got your Happy Father's Day, didn't you? Huh? You got all those fucking people to do that. Just stay away from that shit. I'm just trying to get something to eat. We used to go to Luby's. I don't know if my biological father is still alive or not, but it's electronic devices into the brain, so that I can't really explain to you all that really well, huh? What I'm trying to say, and it's very upsetting because I know as I'm talking, that they're shooting an electronic device that's preventing me from communicating. I'm literally just waiting in line like everybody else for like 30 minutes, walking in line. I'm in line like everybody else. I'm not cutting in front of people. I just wait my place in line. I wait like everybody else. No, that one's white power right there. How you get treated white? Did you get treated white your whole life? Or did you get treated black for your niggas for the favor? Oh, it's just you don't remember? But I have to endure that abuse. I have to endure that bullshit. And they feel sorry for the fucking, to total strangers, they don't give a flying fuck about your life. They just think about what the fuck their patriotic mascot and hero, who they want to say, no matter how monstrous it is. They did this, people in the Nazi concentration camps and through history, and many times people do this all the time. But when you get placed in the public eye, it's like when they say Paris Hilton did that porno, no matter how innocent that girl probably was and went to church growing up, to a Catholic church, I think, to my understanding, it doesn't fucking matter how innocent. That girl took the entire blow of that fucking video. No one ever heard from that guy again. And that was done and appeared where at the height of everything, of how shaming is, especially the pornography and all that shit, and that young, it was just to put how awful and disgusting people were to that person. You know, and in front of everybody. In front of everybody, it's the worst. To do that in front of everybody is the fucking worst. And they do this shit to me and constantly when I don't want to play a part of it. You did this to yourself. You have money, you have understanding, you have kids, you're married to a police officer, your radio... No, fuck you, motherfucker. This isn't helping the poor, my mother, poor family. You didn't do nothing. And so I get scrumbled to nothing, and I have to talk to somebody to give approval? Fuck you. But I'm not allowed to say that because President Barack Obama gave the orders. Remember, psychology and his people that are doing it for him.